Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Vito Anselmi, who is the Regional Director, North America for Alula. Now, if you've never heard of Alula, definitely stay tuned. And if you have, stay tuned anyway, because there's so much material to go over here on Insider Travel Report. So Alula, I mean, first of all, I knew about it, but when you started to talk about it, it's sort of, you know, it was like a smack in the face, like, wow, I need to know more about this place. Let's start with a little bit of history.
Sure. I mean, there's 200,000 years worth of human history in Alula. We have 4 fabulous heritage sites that have basically been unseen by people because before 2019, Saudi Arabia was not open for tourism.
And so let's talk about the size.
Well, I mean, in terms of size, I mean, Alula itself is in the northwestern corner of Saudi Arabia, so it's actually closer to Jordan and Egypt. There's only 45,000 people that live in Alula, so it's not a very big space. And the great thing is, when you're there, all of the experiences are within close reach of each other. So we think that that's a real plus for people that don't have a lot of time, want to see a lot in a short amount of time.
Now, is this a place, obviously it's a destination you can go straight to, but it's also a place you can go to when you're extending your trip. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So we're really seeing that people are really promoting Saudi Arabia as a standalone destination. So going into Riyadh and then onto Alula and then out of Jeddah, and you're getting 3 really distinct parts of Saudi Arabia over a 9 or 10 day period. Alula, you need really 3 or 4 nights minimum to enjoy and experience the full history and heritage sites that are there.
All right, so let's talk about the heritage sites. There are like 4 of them that are the major.
So there are 4 major heritage sites, Hegra being our flagship, and really there are 110 tombs that make up all of the different tombs. So if you've been to Petra and you've seen, you know, the site there, I mean, we have a very different looking site. What connects them is the Nabatean people created Petra, they created Hegra and the tombs around it.
So you really got to see them both.
Well, I think if you're interested in history and the Nabatean history and the incense road and the trade, yes, absolutely.
Also, let's look at the second one, Dedan.
So Dedan, different point in time. What's great about this experience is you'll see different red rock cliff formation. The tombs are carved right into the rock. You don't have the same ornate design as you do with Hegra, for instance, but what you have are lions that have been carved out, and the lions really symbolize that it was the elite people that were buried in those tombs.
Jabal
Ikma. So that's our open air library. So what's fascinating here is, as people were traveling through, a little bit like the old style Twitter, people left their mark. Quite literally, we had over 12 different languages recorded in the area. It's still an area where you can get really close up and personal and see the different scriptures all around you.
Mm-hmm. And Alula Old Town.
Old Town, yeah, that's my favorite, my personal favorite. When I went there in March, I had an amazing experience and connection there. The people were living there up until the 1980s, which is fascinating in itself. They've obviously been resettled nearby. You can climb to the top of the natural fort, the Citadel, and gives you an amazing 360 view of all of Alula. Great restaurants and cafes, and they're building an eco-lodge there as well.
Wherever I go, the old town's the place to be. So same here.
It's fascinating. It really is the heartbeat of Alula. Yep.
The landscapes you were showing us on the slides are just beautiful, and they almost pull you into why wellness and spiritualism are other offerings there. Let's explain through the guise of the landscapes how all that falls into place.
Sure. I mean, it's a very vast place, but there's a lot of empty space, and I think a lot of that lends itself to that spiritual connection that we all have been craving, particularly in recent times. And I think having the ability to combine that spirituality, sense of space and place with some of these amazing heritage experiences is what's magical about Alula.
So what are the offerings for wellness and spirituality? Just a couple, smattering.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's hard to define as one thing because it's all throughout the destination. I mean, even Habitas, which is one of the new 5-star properties there, you could describe as being a spiritual retreat. It's very based on community and engagement of that kind. I mean, sure, they do the typical yoga sessions, but they also have so much more that is more typical or traditional for Saudi.
And 200,000 years, there's a lot of art.
Sure, that's the human history side, and I think what we have with art and culture is this great opportunity to showcase and to bring international and local talent together and to use the landscape as a canvas, if you like.
Are there any events coming up that we should be shooting for?
Sure. I mean, in fact, right now we have what we have branded or termed as the Alula Moments, and that's really the umbrella for 4 festivals that will be happening between now and January of 23. So for people that are looking for festivals and events to participate in, that's a great time to go. If people are looking for a little bit more of quiet time, then probably from February through May, that would be an ideal time. I went in March and it was, beautiful weather. People think it's going to be extremely hot, but you need to prepare for cooling off in the evenings as well. So,
Wadi Al Fan, what is that?
So it's really an area that is being developed into a cultural precinct, and they're inviting some prominent artists to come in and actually present their works there. Yeah,
part of the art.
So it's part of that arts collaboration piece, correct?
The Mariah building. Tell us about that.
So Mariah literally means mirrored building. It's the largest of its kind in the world. The brief was basically build us a conference center that doesn't interrupt the landscape. No, but it kind of acts as a mirage. It does, because all of the rock formations reflect off the building. So it's just as impressive to see that building and that structure. And there's also a Michelin star restaurant inside, which is even more impressive.
So when you come out there and you're looking for accommodations, what's new or what's notable?
Sure. I mean, within the last 12 months, we've opened a habitat, so we've got our first 5-star accommodation, and in the next 2 months, we'll have a banyan tree as well. So we'll have 2 at the 5-star level, providing that exclusivity and privacy that people are wanting. But we also have other properties that are already there that are in that 3.5 to 4.5 star category. So the Shaden, which is great for families, the Sahari, which is a Bedouin style setup, so more for people wanting that authentic Saudi experience.
And
and we have the RVs, yes, which I can't not mention the RVs.
Well, you could stay luxury and then say, now we're going to head out and hit our RV after that.
Those shiny RVs, it's like glamping, but you have all the access to all the fabulous Habitas amenities. And I have to mention, we're building an eco lodge in the Old Town district, which is going to be amazing. So you have that recreation. In that area means you can actually leave the hotel by foot and stroll the streets, go to the night market. It's going to be amazing.
So, I mean, for those who are coming back from the pause, this is wide open spaces. This is big sky. This is everything you wanted. It's
all those things without over tourism. Most of these places have not been seen by eyes outside of Saudi Arabia, so they're pristine in their condition, and there's a real focus on preservation and sustainability. So the plan is to keep it that way.
That's great. So do you have any advice? We're going out to 108,000 travel advisors. How can they get involved? Where is there a portal for them that's exclusive for them that they could use, and that we give them a URL?
Sure. I mean, the first protocol is to go to experiencealula.com, and that is where we have all of our content for the trade. It's where all of our festival and event information is housed.
So if a travel advisor wants a little hand-holding, wants to really talk to a person, do you have an email address for them?
Sure. Yeah, we have an address. It's alula@advocatetravelmarketing.com, and through that email address, we can definitely set you up with an introduction to DMCs, or let you know which tour operators are also selling Alula packages.
All right, well, let's inundate that email address, because it really sounds exciting. Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome. Thank you, and thanks everyone out there.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.